Hey, what's up guys? Bitcoin just reached an all-time high of more than $38,000 a coin. It doubled in price since 2017 annual high. In this video, I'll explain why Bitcoin is about to enter into Euphoria stage. Then we'll take a look at Max Keiser Bitcoin's price prediction for 2021. This video is presented by BlockFi. BlockFi provides financial products for crypto investors such as high-yield interest accounts, USD loans, and no-fees trading. With BlockFi, you can get up to 8.6% APY. It works with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, or stablecoins. Do you need cash? Now you do not have to sell your crypto and pay high taxes. With BlockFi, you can use your crypto as a collateral to get a cash loan. Now, BlockFi utilizes ACH that will enable users to connect their bank accounts with BlockFi and deposit/withdraw funds into/from BlockFi with no fees. Also, just recently Visa partnered with BlockFi to release a new credit card where users will receive 1.5% back with Bitcoin. Right now, you can earn up to $250 of crypto bonus when you open a new account and sign up with the link blockfi.com/Aimstone in the description box below. So, what are you waiting for? Sign up today. First, let's take a look at the coin market cap. As of the time of this recording, Bitcoin is over $38,000. This is insane. Just in my last video 2 days ago, Bitcoin was at $32,000. Bitcoin skyrockets. Huge milestone for Bitcoin, and overall cryptocurrency market was just accomplished. Bitcoin surpassed $700 billion of market capitalization, and overall crypto market surpassed $1 trillion of market cap. Bitcoin dominance is above 70%. Ethereum looks pretty good as well. It excelled about $1,200 a coin. Ripple XRP had one of the best few days in a while. It's up by 50% despite it's been eliminated from many crypto exchanges. Cardano ADA had a great run-up for the past 7 days as well. It's up 74%. If we take a look at this meme, Bitcoin smashed 33,000, then 34,000, then 35,000, then 36,000, then 37,000. It also already smashed $38,000. Bitcoin Magazine needs to update this more rapidly and put $39,000 and possibly even $40,000. Here is another funny meme. If you offer someone to buy Bitcoin at $4,000 when there is no hype around it, nobody wants it. $9,000, they still don't want it. $16,000, nah, I will pass. $30,000, oh hell yeah, I'm all in. There is nothing wrong about buying $30,000 Bitcoin considering how much price appreciation Bitcoin has in the long run. But what I do not want to see if someone buys Bitcoin $30,000 and sells at $32,000, and that was it. Or even worse, if someone buys Bitcoin $30,000 and if Bitcoin dips to $25,000, he panics, leaves, and forgets about Bitcoin. No matter at what price you buy, always have a long-term vision. Even if you bought Bitcoin at Euphoria stage back in 2017 at the top of $19,000, and if you would have a long-term vision, now you would have doubled your money. This is actually an interesting fact. Bitcoin right now is slightly more than $38,000, so we are up exactly 100% from 2017 annual highs. I hope you understand how it is important to have a long-term vision. In investing, long-term vision is equivalent to superpower. Not everyone has it, but those who do are much more superior investors. Speaking of the latest stages of the market cycle, let's take a look at this chart that precisely explains where Bitcoin is in terms of its sentimental level. Net unrealized profit/losses looks at the difference between unrealized profit and unrealized losses to determine whether the network as a whole is currently in the state of profit or loss. Net unrealized profit/losses is the difference between relative unrealized profit and relative unrealized losses. It can also be calculated by subtracting realized cap from the market cap and divide that number by the market cap. It can also be used as a measure to determine Bitcoin's sentimental level and its market cycle. Between -1 and 0, we have capitulation. Between 0 and 0.2, we have fear. Between 0.2 and 0.4, we have optimism. Between 0.4 and 0.6, we have belief phase. And if it goes above 0.6, then we enter into Euphoria stage, which is the final stage of the market cycle. In Euphoria phase we can only bend once, and you guessed it, it was during 2017 bull market run, a retail frenzy as I like to call it. Right now the price is over $38,000, but we're still in believe phase. Soon we might enter into Euphoria phase. However, it does not necessarily mean that you have to sell your Bitcoin. Euphoria phase may last longer than you think. We can also notice a large interest from Google trend search on Bitcoin. If 2017 was the peak of Bitcoin's popularity, where Bitcoin was at 100, right now we are at 32. Google projects to reach 50 in the near future, which will be a half where it was back in 2017. It can also be a good indicator that soon we might enter into Euphoria stage. However, once again, that doesn't mean that we are at the top and Bitcoin cannot go any higher. Should you be selling a Bitcoin? I do not think so. And now, let's take a look at the Bitcoin OG Max Keiser answering the question, what is the biggest correction he expects in 2021 and when is he planning to sell his Bitcoin? Let's take a look.
What is the biggest Bitcoin correction that Max expects in 2021? Does he notice any correction patterns?
The corrections in Bitcoin have been successfully getting less and less and less. I mean, I've went through 80 to 90% corrections, in Bitcoin since 2011. So, but since then we've had less and less and less. So, we just experienced a 20% correction. And so now that correction's over and now we start going higher. And so it'll start to behave more like an asset class where you might see 10 to 20% corrections. The 30, 40, 50% corrections, I think we're past that because the size of the market's gotten to be a lot bigger and the amount of money on the sidelines waiting to get in is enormous. The biggest money funds in the world, BlackRock, Stan Druckenmiller, Paul Tudor Jones, Mass Mutual Insurance Company, they're all sitting on the bid, hoping to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible. And that's only going to get bigger and bigger. Sovereign wealth funds are going to get into this, et cetera. So the corrections will be less and less and less.
Ask Max if he's ever going to sell his Bitcoin. So what would it take for Max Keiser to sell his Bitcoin? And this is a personal question, but came up a lot. People want to know how much Bitcoin you own.
Well, I'm probably not going to sell my Bitcoin. I'm going to pass it on to the next generation. I think I have a responsibility to do that. And number two, I wouldn't want to sell Bitcoin back into fiat and give power peace, turn peace back into war. So, and I'm not motivated in any way to sell any Bitcoin. The more I hold, the hodler, I keep going hodling Bitcoin, the faster the revolution happens away from war and we enter a peace, an era of peace. The thing about that holds humans back is something that's a vestige from our days, hundreds of thousands of years ago. Hard-coded in our mind is this instinct toward fear, and that's what holds us back. Bitcoin gets rid of our fears and replaces it with love. And with a pure love in our hearts and our minds, we can move on to some different evolutionary step of greater good. And that's what we need to do. So I wouldn't want to put the Bitcoin I have back into fiat money circulation to feed, and then somebody in Washington will turn that into a bomb and they'll go kill somebody in a foreign country because they're sadists. I don't want that. We got a bunch of sadists running this country, and and they run by fiat money. Every time they kill 100,000 people, they go print more money. It's disgusting.
And how much, you own? I understand why you wouldn't want to disclose that, but is there a range you could share?
Well, I mean, I started buying it at $1, and that was 10 years ago. So, there's a lot of zeros.
I like that mentality Max has. He's not planning to sell his Bitcoin, he's planning to pass his Bitcoin to the next generation. But the follow-up question is, if you decide to sell your Bitcoin, what are you selling into? A fiat currency, a US dollar that lost its purchasing power at annual compound rate of 9% since the global financial crisis that took place in 2008. Or even worse, a US dollar that lost 99% of its purchasing power in the last century. I'm not even talking about taxes that you will have to pay. If you sell your Bitcoin, you will have to pay somewhere between 20 to 50% taxes, depends on your income and the time holding. Do you want to sell your Bitcoin and pay 50% of its value to Uncle Sam? I don't. Now, let's take a look at this final clip where Max Keiser gave his Bitcoin price prediction by the end of 2021. Let's take a look.
Max Keiser's 2021 Bitcoin forecast. You're hearing it for the first time here, folks.
I'm going with $220,000 per Bitcoin as a 2021 target. and that would bring us up to over $4 trillion market valuation, which I think is a good 2021 objective. You know, we were going to catch up to gold. That would bring us up to not quite half gold's valuation, but getting close to gold's valuation. I think the catalyst is going to be, as I said, a major central bank failing, plus the money printing is going to go absolutely Weimar Republic. So we're going to see that, depending on how you calculate this. There's certain trends that you can put into your calculation. So we just had a halving, right? We had the third halving in Bitcoin. You know, there's three things in Bitcoin that people like Nouriel Roubini never mentioned: the halvings, the difficulty adjustment, and the hash rate. Now, that would be like me being a real estate broker and trying to sell real estate and telling people that I don't know where the house is, I don't know how big the house is, and I don't know who owns the house. Would you be a successful real estate broker? No. So Nouriel Roubini never mentions the halving, the hash rate, or the difficulty adjustment. And he pretends to come across as somebody whose opinions we should have some respect for, when clearly he's a propagandist, NYU, lackey, kind of fart inhaling moron. So the halving happens every 4 years. So the supply gets cut in half. So that then you input that into the demand. So the demand is going, you know, the demand's going higher, right? All these huge money folks are coming in to Bitcoin. Then the supply is shrinking. For example, there's 900 Bitcoin a day that are created, and the demand is over 4,000 a day. So that should tell you something right there. If you look at the exchanges, there's Bitcoin, kind of a snapshot of how many Bitcoin are circulating or in existence, being moved around. That is shrinking rapidly because institutions are taking Bitcoin. They're gobbling up that Bitcoin. We're going to enter a Bitcoin shortage. So a couple of things we haven't seen, we're going to see in 2021. We're going to see gap pricing in terms of price discovery. So, okay, it's 37,000. You know, once you get above 40,000, that panic buying from institutions comes in. You could see 42,000, and then the next print be 44,000. Probably this 220,000 number, probably you're going to see that in October, November will be the high of the year. If you look historically to how the Bitcoin's traded versus the halvings and the demand and the difficulty adjustment and the mining industry and the acceleration of the technology in the mining industry and how efficient miners are, the cost of electricity, right? That's also a factor in this calculation.
I believe Max Keiser was the closest in 2020 with his Bitcoin price prediction of $28,000. Now for 2021, he predicts Bitcoin to hit $220,000 a coin. That would be over $4 trillion in market cap, around 40% of gold's market cap. The main catalyst behind his thesis is constant money printing by central banks and a Bitcoin halving. These two elements cause higher demand, and therefore Bitcoin price can certainly reach $220,000 price target in 2021. Let me know, what do you guys think? Can Bitcoin hit $220,000 in 2021? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash that like button and subscribe for more videos. I will see you guys in the next one.